The park features its own museum, train, aquarium, play parks, and a formal garden. Additionally, the park also has some of the most beautiful BBQ spots in the city, and hence makes the perfect spot for families to get together. The train at Khalifa Park is a great way for parents and kids to get from one side of the park to the other and have fun while doing it. Each ride is accompanied by music to make the trip more pleasant. The train makes several stops along the way, so visitors can explore the attractions. Running along the perimeter of the park, visitors can catch a ride from two places, either from the stop nearest the main entrance or the library located at the far end of the park.
تصور فيديو كده وتبسط وعيش حياتك كده.
أي.
اكس بريكس وين فروم؟ الو بقول محمد الفرده يوديك ليه؟ انا ميرنا هاو ار يو؟ رايح نعس هنا بطاطا ذره فشار ايس كريم عصير كله موجود. اوكي محمد يوديك ليه؟ انا حكال موقع عبد الله يوديك لكن شغل الفاير فيه اصحاب عبد جعلت انا في جمال شاي كرك وتر سكرين عصير بس كله موجود. كويس يعني تمام.
Maritime Museum. Learn the history of Abu Dhabi. The tour also includes a ride that will take you through the history of Abu Dhabi from the beginning of Abu Dhabi to fishing and peel diving to present day. Throughout the journey through history, you will be accompanied by a tour guide, which is a voice system that is played through each car individually. Once the tour is finished, a walk through the aquarium is in store, in which there are numerous views of the aquarium.
Come, we will take you all on an incredible journey through the history of our great nation. See for yourselves the huge changes we've experienced. The sea is in our blood. Our people have made a living along these shores for more than 7,000 years, gathering shellfish, catching fish, and diving for pearls. Our hearts beat to the rhythm of the sea. These waters contain a wealth of the finest fish, sea bream, tuna, and hammoud. Our forefathers made their nets and fish traps from woven palm leaves. Their boats were made of palm sticks bound together with rope. Sudden storms and high winds meant that fishing was dangerous but rewarding work. Fish that wasn't eaten immediately was hung up to dry or preserved and sold. Some of it we ate, and some we exchanged with traders for other things like tea and rice. Most of our homes were arish, made of date palm sticks and mats, although some were built with materials from the seashore, coral stone and lime cement. Their walls reflected the heat of the sun. Inside, the rooms stayed cooler in the midday heat. Camels hold a special place in our hearts. We honor these royal and noble creatures which can endure the blazing desert heat for days without food or water. They are vital source of meat and milk. Their dung is used as food. Their hair to make tents, robes, and bags. Their leather to make straps and sandals. The camel is truly a gift of God, perfectly adapted to life in the desert. These camels have been loaded with dates, dried fish, household goods, and food. They used to cover huge distances to reach the oases inland at Liwa and Al-Ain, along routes that camels have traveled for generations. Camel trains carried wood, charcoal, food, and fodder back and forth between the coast and the inland oases, bringing much-needed supplies. They also transported whole families every year from the coast to the oases to escape the worst of the summer humidity. This is what makes camels happy. In the desert, they can swill water from many parts. This oasis is fed by cool underground springs and a network of barrages, man-made channels which bring water from the mountains. Here, we produce dates, seedlings, vegetables, fruit, and flowers. It's a kind of paradise, cool and tranquil. At night, the birds settle in the shade of the trees, and you have to keep a watchful eye for the snakes and scorpions. The camel raising beds were nomadic animals and will settle around oasis dwellings in the summer. Many would live in traditional desert tents made of woven cloth. These were furnished with huts and divided into separate quarters for men and women. Here, in the food preparation area, women with cold meat and bread families. Next door, in the majlis, the men's quarters, the men would meet in the evening to talk and drink coffee. Our ancestors began to settle here more than 5,000 years ago, and they made the most of the world around them. Copper mining was one of the earliest industries here. Miners hammered away at rocks with hand-made tools to uncover seams of copper ore in the mountains. Sometimes they would use fire to crack rock face. It was a dark and dangerous place to be. Once mined, the copper ore was heated to separate the copper from the ore, a process known as smelting. Molten liquid copper was poured into molds to make tools, weapons, and jewelry. Once the castings cooled, they were hammered to shape.
Settle down, please, children. Turn to page 17. Can anybody tell me what they see here?
Teacher,
Ahmed?
the man is diving for pearls. My great-grandfather was a pearl diver. He could hold his breath for ages. He taught me to swim on land. One day,
In the last century, huge fleets of pearl vessels set out from Abu Dhabi every summer. The departure of the fleet was a major event. Families left behind were anxious about their loved ones. Some of the men never returned. The divers were weighted down as they plunged to the shallow banks to search for oysters. It was a dangerous journey, with stinging jellyfish, sharp corals, and no drinking water. But a lucky dog might establish a family's fortune. To keep their spirits up, an imam would chant to inspire the pearls, leading them all in songs which marked each stage of their work. Since oil was discovered in the Emirates more than 40 years ago, Abu Dhabi has become one of the world's major oil producers. Much of this oil comes from under the sea. A network of offshore drilling platforms taps into vast reserves. Abu Dhabi currently has around a sixth of the world's oil interests. To inspire the world, leading them all in songs which mark each stage of the world.
that's what I would like to be when I grow up, grandfather. A diver. A bit like your father.
The underwater mines were maintained by highly skilled commercial divers. They were protected snakes and dived to the sea to work on the pipes, moving through the murky waters amongst the fishes and creatures of the sea. A network of offshore drilling platforms taps into vast reserves. Abu Dhabi currently has around a sixth of the world's oil interests. It is hard, skilled work on the oil drilling platforms. Highly trained men operate the drills, pumps, and other heavy machinery, extracting pure oil from beneath the sea. These futuristic structures are oil production facilities. Huge quantities of oil are produced every day at offshore and onshore production facilities. But even this modern industry was built using traditional skills. Pearl divers helped to lay the undersea pipes, and dhows kept fresh supplies coming in. Nowadays, massive tankers are needed to transport the oil and gas to the rest of the world. Abu Dhabi today is an emirate to be proud of. There is so much to do in this dynamic, lively capital. Busy streets, shopping malls, markets, hotels, a fantastic waterfront, beautiful mosques, magnificent mountains and parks. In little over a generation, Abu Dhabi has been transformed into one of the great trading and business centers of the world. This is now with a proud heritage rooted in the traditions and values of its desert and sea-going origin.